has to be able to, you understand? Okay. Okay. All right. Teddy, can you just say something just so that I can just check all my, like, cross all my T's and dot the I's. Can you say something that you're there?
Hi, sir.
Okay, great. All right. So what I want to do is, again, so I'm just going to like go to the formative two. Again, as I said, in terms of don't be like afraid that someone's going to be stealing your ideas or whatever it is. Um, it is about more about your questioning around it, right? And about me having clarification for you, providing you with clarification so that we use this class and we shall use. I mean, I'm hoping. Look, I'll be on campus on Thursday. It doesn't really make a difference if you're at home, if you're on campus, because obviously we're doing activation. But I mean, I will. I mean, there's obviously class in as well. I'm not sure how many of you will. There we go. Um, will be attending, but okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're here in the now. Tell me, is this understood? So I'm saying from your perspectives, is this understood? What is the questioning around this, if any? So you're free to talk. Tell me, ladies.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Yes,
I,
go ahead. Explain to me, yeah.
I guess basically from what I understood from you, we're not supposed to like write a whole script of the news, the traffic, the sports, and everything. We're
Right.
just supposed to like do what is it called again? Show a clock basically of how everything's gonna go. So if there's news, we say the news is going to be there from 6:30 to 6:32 maybe.
Yeah.
So I think it's something like that that we're supposed to do for this question.
Yeah.
Going.
Yeah. Please, for the second, you got to go to the seconds, eh? Just like you did for the clock in the first assignment. So it's very important for you to actually build. Now, what you're doing is taking it towards prep. Does that make sense? So prep can't be prep is based on the clock with the timing and whatever it is, right? But then you understand what I'm saying to you. So you have to include, again, just like the clock we did um, in class. You will have to now, and again, let me just see if I can actually just quickly just grab it.
I
Uh,
asked,
Hello, yeah, tell me.
so when you're explaining our features and
Yes.
benchmark, do you need to explain the news or can it be a feature? Okay, yes,
No,
yes. Do you need to explain the news and traffic or
okay, so you can't, yeah. So you don't with the benchmarks, no. So the benchmarks are different. The benchmarks must be. See, I understand that we've there's we discussed with the benchmarks itself, right? Um, so if we look at, let's say, like, I want you to say, like, okay, can I look then here first? I'm gonna say, it's gonna say each feature described in detail, and each feature is entertaining. You understand? That's why I said to you. Remember, I said to you when I was explaining this. I said a benchmark. That's not correct. That's not allowed actually to be there. Here, this thing here, right? I'm saying because a benchmark is this here, these things here. You understand? A benchmark is news, is traffic, is sport, is spots, is imaging, right? So the thing is that it's supposed to be like like it has to be the features here that you're explaining. So you'll come up with 3 features, 5 marks each, and you will explain the mechanism to them. Do you understand? So the mechanism is like, has anyone come up with a feature, for example? Or do you want to give me an example of a feature that you've come up with and you're struggling with, or maybe you need some assistance with in detailing the mechanism? The mechanism is how it works. You understand? So in other words, step by step, what you will do within the feature I'm saying to you to let it execute correctly. And then you understand, if you understand the mechanism, right, the mechanics of it, then you can, every single time you prep the show, you will use that skeleton to create dynamic content for that feature. Tell me if you understand. Tell me of an example so I can assist you there. Give us an example of a feature that you've come up with, or you thought of, or you're thinking of, you know. Anybody? Nothing? Yeah. Yes?
Could a little game between the listeners and the presenter be a feature?
Okay, but yeah, of course you can. You know, so games, again, games are very popular and very common and very old school as well. But the thing is, again, don't turn them into competitions. That's the thing. You understand? So you mustn't, like a feature must be like in a way, it must stand alone with its own power. Does it make sense? So they mustn't have to, you mustn't have to convince a listener to be part of your feature. Like, for example, they're going to play a little game or whatever it may be, with the presenter, so that they can win something. The winning moment is that they actually are deemed like, oh, they got it right, or that was close, or this is cool, or you know, you tell me about this, or whatever it may be. So the thing is, again, you can do a game, but the game has to be, one, very simple. It's got to be simple in execution and construction. Two, the game must be hard enough for people not to obviously get all of them, but must be easy enough for people to be able to get them. Do you understand? So it must be a challenge, because a listener won't partake in something that's super easy. They're just going to find it very boring. It's going to be silly to actually say it, and the kind of the winning value of that, or that winning value. You know, when a listener goes, oh, you know, like that achievement, they're not going to care about that, so they're not going to take part. There are a lot of like guessing games, features like a riddle, which is very old and definitely not encouraged at all ever. Do you understand? Like, because the thing is that if you're not going to make this riddle clever, right? So, for example, let's say you're describing a celebrity, but you model it as a riddle. You understand? So something that sounds quite poetic. That's pretty cool. Do you understand, right? So taking, instead of like just these riddles that you're going to Google and just copy and paste something and say, oh, I was talking about a book, you know, it's, you know, it's got a beginning, it's got a beginning and an end, but could have many parts. I don't know, could have endless parts. I don't know how to describe a book. I'm just saying to you, I'm not going to do something off the cuff. It's not, you know, I must think about stuff just like you should, so that it actually can land. But what game, for example, would you think of? And I can tell you that it's not going to work, or it is.
I didn't really have a game in mind, but I just thought about putting a little game inside. But I get it. The riddles are not the
Yeah,
ones that we're supposed to do.
yeah. It's just, again, it's not that you don't have to do riddles. The thing is that you must not do riddles in a way that hasn't been done before. Do you understand? So if the riddle is, I mean, it's too difficult to say, you know, I can, so you can't use smell, because the listener can't smell it. I'm saying if you want to physically go, oh, it smells like this, you know, they would also want to, they'd also feel they're a little left out with how your reaction to it is, and that's your reaction to it. Like I'm just saying to you, let's say you're holding something and they can win it, for example. A lot of competitions are actually done like that. Like, you're not holding something, but let's say you are, for example, in the studio, like sitting in front of you, and it's all these reactions that you have about it without trying to give it away. See, that we make it quite simple and we make it quite basic, just so that the listener can actually win. But and so it's a winning moment, but it's for an actual product. So that's fine. The thing is, I explained to you about how brain mechanics work and stuff. And in competitions, you must win. Like I'm saying to you, there mustn't be a moment actually where whatever part of the sponsorship was, you understand, they've given a certain amount of money or they've given a certain amount of whatever is, blah, blah, blah. It has to be given out to the listener, right? So that's what I'm saying to you. When you are of this type of, like you're talking about like this type of game, this type of quiz, that type of thing, like it's got to actually like spark their mind, like give them a little bit of like a boost in their mind so they can actually think about it. They love it. They really do love it when they get like 2 out of 3 wrong or 3 out of 3 right or whatever it is. Even if they got one, that's what I'm saying to you. They, listener enjoys that. So again, I'm not saying stay away from it. I see it. Whenever I say to you, it's overdone and it won't work. You must find a way to make it work. Do you understand? Because we don't live in a world without games on radio. There are games constantly on radio. We don't live in a world that doesn't exist where people have, I don't know, like interviews or a feature about psychological mental health. We have it everywhere, right? But the thing is that you can't just keep on, like you can't just carbon copy something that has no, absolutely no, like a fundamental dimension or whatever it is, and think that that is actually good radio. So that's what I'm saying to you, like not that I didn't mark the first F1 strictly or adequately as it is. I'm saying to you, in other words, fairly, like with every one of you, because this is the last year for you for radio. Like, so you have to be marked like you've done first and second year, in other words, because you have, and you've done third year, which you are busy doing. So like you need to show me like an advanced knowledge of the subject matter. Otherwise, it's going to fail. Do you understand? I'm saying that the whole the concept, the assignment, whatever it may be. So I would it's not that difficult to come up with the beginning of a new concept. Like I say, I know every single one of you always speak about wanting to do mental health. I say, cool, this is great, it's relevant, whatever. What do you want to do with it? Then we have like question marks. Do you understand? Give me some ideas that you could put together as a feature for mental health. Ideas are brainstorming. Brainstorming is good. There's no good or bad ideas right now. We will filter them out. What are your thoughts? Any thoughts? Teddy, you go ahead. Nothing there for the moment. Nkosi, you go ahead. I'm glad you joined. Glad you found your way. Still nothing there. Okay, Tina, let's go again. Okay, Tommy, what? Because is vanishing, yeah, vanishing. Yeah.
Maybe like causes of depression or something.
Okay, go deeper. Go deeper. So, causes of depression is cool. I like that. Try to look at about the understand, like let's say acute depression. Does that make sense?
Oh yes, I see. So
do you understand? So things that can be triggers that can actually set you back in deep depression and actually and the effects of. So for example, let's see if the feature works. So I'm going to give you an example. So acute depression, for example, is brought about by someone's death. Okay, like let's say a death of a loved one brings about acute depression. So we're not going to talk about the mental disability, the mental disorder of depression. We're talking about acute because there's a large majority of both the people that suffer from depression, but also just everybody else that now is familiar with it after COVID. I'm just saying that they have, for the first time in their lives, they understand this kind of like really reeling pain of depression. So I'm going to give the concept of a loved one. Do you understand? And and it's a very broad topic as well, because the thing is, I must say now that the loved ones, there's a different type of acute depression. Your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your child, your best friend. Do you understand? Like these are and your husband, wife / your significant other. I think I've said that, I'm not sure, right? So these are the big deaths. These are, and your grandparents, let's say, if they are alive, right? So so it's acute depression, and how these things are very different, like for each one of these people. I'm not going to give in depth, oh, your mom is because of this, your dad is like this. Everyone has different relationships, but I would talk about the fact that, you know, you'd understand your acute depression of a loved one that will never go away, actually. So you have this mass amount of breakdown, obviously, when it says someone really close to you dies. But this is what it's like. This is how you're in denial. This is what's going to feel like. This is what you can expect, and this is what you can do. Does it make sense, right? Then, for example, give me some other reason of acute depression. Think of our everyday life. So let's go like, for as being a student. Let's say you fail something. You fail a formative, you fail a supplementary, you have to redo something. Do you understand? This is acute depression, because the thing is that it is brought about by your own actions, first of all, right? Your own actions, so your own accountability, but also there are many other factors that we have to also consider could be part of. The lecturer wasn't great. They were never there. There was, like, the material wasn't explained correctly. You didn't have a grasp of the material. Maybe this was just not made for you. I'm saying to this field, how to study correctly. Did you follow these simple things to do? How do you recover from, let's say, failing something and having to face it again? Do you understand? And maybe the psychological factors that will burn scars into your current being until you work forward past it, or through it, or over it. In other words, like achieve it in any kind of way, right? Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. All right. I would like, there are three features that you have to come up with. Give me just another one. Anything else? Think of a fun one. Something fun. Something fun, something simple. You guys kill me, eh? You're killing me. I say that laugh with a laugh, because I mean, you're not literally killing me, but I worry about your, obviously, your ability to immediately spark something that's creative. It doesn't have to be good. It has to be something that you can work on to be great. For example, here's a nice little feature on campus. You know, again, Gen Zers say like, people say odd things, right? So you could do a Vox piece, right, with people, or they could send you in voice notes about the craziest thing a person ever said to you. Do you understand? And not make it a call out, but make it a feature, because people say, like, the most absurd things to you, and you actually sit there and you have no idea what to say, what to do, where to look, or you understand. And that will work really well, because the thing is that it's so simple. People will have individual, unique experiences that are sometimes offensive. I'm saying to you, like, they were offended, but they will always have something maybe funny that comes from it. I think I'm going to use it. That's funny. That's a good one. But just give me any indication that I know that you are fine. Give me a funny one. Any attempt. Do not attempt to get it right. Just attempt it. That's the thing. Teddy, are you around? Or am I going to focus just... Okay, Tina, give it to me. Give me anything. Yeah. Of course, you're here. You're fine. Just as a sidebar, you there? Because I see you trying to speak. I'm going to come back to you now, Tina.
Okay.
Right. So, okay. Well, she's not saying anything. I'm sure she will if she has something to say. Okay, go ahead. You can go ahead.
How I was confused on the us making like the feature with the caller, but not a phone. I'm confused. Is it possible? So, like maybe if I want to do a feature like on prank calls or something like that, we prank call someone, and then is it considered a feature or a phoner?
So no, that'll be a feature. If it's done once, there's a standalone feature, like a once-off feature that you can do. But the thing is that, like, that's a once-off feature that normally you base on something that happened in the news or something around you, whatever it is, and you're actually going to make it into something that's kind of gimmicky. Does that make sense? Instead of like a call out itself. But the feature is something that you must run continuously let's say every time you do the show, you'll have a certain time for it, and then you must do it at that same time every single show, right? The call out is something you do once. I'm saying once it's done, it's over. Make sense?
Oh,
Yeah, tell me.
yes, sir.
No, sure. Okay. All right. Well, okay. So
does prank call like qualify as a feature?
It does, but the thing is, again, you won't get any marks for it only because it's so overdone. Can you elaborate further? So in other words, so you get the prank call. Can you make it something brand new? So I'm saying to you, take the concept of the prank call. The prank call, as you know, the traditional setup is that normally the host will pretend to be someone. It can to anybody. It can be a mother. It can be a person that's like at a telemarketer. It can be a hospital. It can be this. It can be anyone, right? And the thing is that they will have constructed some kind of conflict or confusion. Do you understand, right? Or they will take advantage of the person's like great personality or really horrible personality and try to get the most exaggerated reactions of that. You understand? So prank calls are very difficult to do. Not that they can't be done. I'm saying they are very difficult to do because you normally have to do quite a couple before you get one right. I'm saying then you use that one. Then you got to do a couple more before another one is perfect, right? So if you can think of like something new that's based on the prank call, without it being cruel, you're not allowed it being cruel as well. You're not allowed to shock someone, like for example, oh, like listen, I'm so sorry to tell you that your son died earlier this morning, or you can't phone someone and say like I want to break up with you, it's done, or whatever it is. You can't do that. You understand? That's cruel. So you need to err on ethics right here. And people will not go haha with you. They will not. They will actually despise you if you go and take bad taste to the next level. So do you understand? You can't use the features already exist and like I'm saying in our radio landscape. If it exists here, Soma, I'm not saying like if it exists anywhere else, it's better. But because we know that, again, for example, the prank call is mastered by Darren Simpson. He still does it, and it's still available. He's been doing it for way over a decade. Like you have to do something new because he's doing it better than you. You understand? Makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. All right. I'm going to go on the other ones. Not here, man. I'm just going to also form sidebar. It's fine. I'm going off topic now. I was going to say about the registers, but I can say it in the group. Okay. So, what have you decided on and are working on for these two podcasts? Anybody? And also, what are you struggling with? We have lots of time. Still got about like 35 minutes. So again, like let me just click on, might as well just do it. I'm saying actually go to the article itself. Excuse me. Okay, let me just share.
So if we think of other features, can we send them to you via WhatsApp?
Yeah, but you must remember that I'm leaving for Australia, eh? Like on Friday. So you can you can do it. You can do it up to like when we do class, so I can get back to you on Thursday. But other than that, it's going to be chaos. You understand?
No
So yeah. So you're more than welcome. You know you always are. And it really is only Tuesday. There's still when I say really only, I do not encourage. Like I'm not going to say this. I know the students only start now with their assignments, so it is what it is. I'm saying there's still some time for you to think through this. Okay, let me share the. I'm going to stop that. I'm going to share this. Let me go to where the other windows. 1 second, yeah. Screen. Just give me a second. 1 second. Okay, why is this being an issue? Oh yeah, opinion. I'm so blind. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Cool. Okay, let's look at this. Have you read through the article? Have you read is that a yes? Is that a no? Have you read through the article at all?
Not yet, sir.
You guys kill me, eh?
Did.
Who read it? Tell me. Of course, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you want to give me? Do you want to tell me what not? Don't summarize it for us. Tell me what you found interesting in the article, if anything. Right.
I would say there's nothing new about it. We all know that social media is detrimental and all of that, people go on social media and they see influencers and they want to be like them, so they change their body features. To me, it's nothing new. It's nothing really new, something that I've like known. So I can't say there's something interesting there.
Right, good, which is great actually, because the thing is, again, to give you to have selected, we could have selected anything. Genuinely, we could have selected anything, right? To have given you, and 10 to 1 would have given you something irregardless of it being old, because this was published in January, which is not that old. I'm just saying to you that the facts are correct. But what were some talk or thought points for you? So maybe things that you felt might have potential to be something interesting to talk about. And again, you don't have to, the thing is that you have to base your podcast on this concept of this addictive or toxic toxicity within social media, which we constantly say. But like how much of it do we talk about? I'm saying to the like you understand. I'm going to start one off. You could do an amazing 4-minute podcast. I don't know how long the podcast is. We'll have a look now. Just a second to remind me. What does it say? Just give me a second now. What does it say? You have to do 4 minutes. Okay, 4 minutes. Right. Okay. But my thing is that I would do a snap, like just to be like, we know that it is toxic, right? Okay, we know that it is detrimental. Here are some of the reasons that you already know, but we still use it, and we still use it. We use it carelessly. That's all, okay? Because you're not gonna like we don't want to. the thing is, it's boring now to badmouth social media. It doesn't make sense. Like, everyone's got something to say about it. But if you can get actual stories, like 3 stories from different people that you do a Vox with, I'm saying that you actually interview for 1 minute, do you understand? So that you can have your beginning and your end as vocalized. I'm saying you will record that as an intro and an end, right? That have had terrible experiences on social media, or have hurt themselves, or have like lost complete identity because of that, will make for like an 100%, 95% mark. You understand? So why I say this to you is I want you to understand how easy it is, because the thing is, you only have 4 minutes. 4 minutes, 40 minutes, it doesn't matter. You will fill out what you need to. In this case, punchier stuff. Do you understand? That you don't actually have to sit and script forever and whatever it is, like you would in a 40 minutes, a 27 minutes, whatever it is, and obviously nowadays 15 to 18 minute podcast. So I've given this great idea. You can call it, like, I'm saying, social media enough said. Do you understand? Like, that's the title of this one, because like we know already, but let's, like, do you know, like, just some of the countless, what I'm saying to you, do you recognize yourself in this? Have you seen someone that you know like this? Can you see it right now? While you're watching these, it doesn't matter, influencers, forget influencers, everybody uses social media, right? But that's what I'm saying to you. If you bring it back home, take it to the people like that you know or that are around you, get some good stories. Do you understand? Give me an example of something else. So, Nkosi, what else stood out for you here?
Okay, so this is when I read obviously in terms of like the podcast, you said it shouldn't be something that like that topic. You should like
Yes, you
do
should
something else
yes.
relating to that, right? Is that correct?
That's fine. You can do that. I welcome that. Because the thing is that I won't even use this. Do you understand? The one that I would have only used literally the concept of the headline. Literally. Do you understand?
Okay.
To do the one that I just suggested, and it would work out just fine. Do you understand, right? Because I wouldn't be able to find other facts and stats from other places to just do the intro with and at the outro. So, like, etc. Whatever it may be. Obviously, this is something I'm thinking of on the fly. I would still fix it. Like for example, let me say, I would be like maybe the bad decisions and then the good decisions that these 3 people made. You understand? So like, you understand? So let's say the one, let's say, lost her identity, and then like flash forward, this is what she did to get herself like back. Do you understand? And then the other one that was body shamed, or they turned into a really horrible person, like, then they did this for a solution, just to kind of end it with whatever it is. I must say to you, you do not have to do the question. Like, the question is rhetorical that you do throughout, and you would be like, you would have said that even in the beginning, maybe. You understand? Like, how far is too far for you in your social media, like, identity? Like, do you even know the difference between like the identity that you are and the identity who you want to be? Do you understand? Anymore? I spoke to 3 people. You understand? Get to the point immediately. Does it make sense? Without it sounding like you are missing points that you should speak about. Does that make sense? In other words, be succinct, right? Like you would when you're writing an article for a paper. They want you to get, like, tell us the facts, dude, or tell us what's important. Okay, so you were saying you want to do something different. Go ahead, Nkosi.
So you overtake him. So why do you, when you talk and then you just, okay, it's fine though.
What?
So when you told me, I asked you a question and then you went on and on and on, but that's fine.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
I asked you,
Oh,
do
yes.
you use
Yes.
like
But I
this
want
as an
to,
example and formulate a
yes.
different topic to talk about?
Did you just want a yes?
Yeah, I
Or-
just wanted a yes.
Wow. Okay. I'm so sorry. I didn't have to. I didn't pan it to every single thing. Okay. I thought that would
Okay,
be.
so I have three ideas that I thought of that I could talk about.
Yeah.
The filters, the article mentions the use of filters, and I thought are they necessary or not? And then I went on like in terms of like relationships, would you date somebody that like, for example, you want like you go online and then you see somebody use the filter like a filter, would you want to go on a date with that someone? What are your expectations in terms of like around using filters as a whole? And
Okay.
also,
Yeah.
and then the second one is how do we protect young people that are growing up from social media, from people like Tabo Besta, like for example TikTok. TikTok is not the safe space anymore. It used to be a dancing app. Now
Yeah.
people are doing sex there. People are having lives
Mm.
talking about sex and intercourse and all of that.
Right.
And then the third one is social media addiction in terms of like the social skills and real life relationships.
The second and third one are better than the first one. Do you understand? So with the second one, you can call it something like my journey in and out of TikTok. You understand?
Okay.
Or the mass exodus of TikTok. In other words, people are not using it for these quote unquote reasons, right? I'd include, let's say, like an 8-minute sound bite. Sorry, not 8 minute, 8 second or 10 second. Do you understand? Of certain things that are being said on TikTok that you mustn't now criticize immediately. You must rather be like this. So this one would, let's say, paint a picture of like complete graphic nudity. Do you understand?
Yes.
Here's another one of whatever it is, in terms of, like I say, I would look at three different aspects that are against not human rights. That doesn't make any sense. It's not something that's polite conversation. Does it make sense? Right. Like, let's say to do that one. Which one of the three do you like and why?
I also like the second one because it's something that myself I have like I'm comfortable around. I've seen it, I've experienced it, and all of that. So I think talking about something that you sort of relate to is gonna work better.
Please don't. Yes. So the thing is, please, when to put the podcast, you must add yourself in. You. I know you've heard it before, but the thing is that the amount that you also add in must also be measured because of the 4 minutes, right? So you must paint the story in a very short, obviously, like your 2 or 3 or 4 lines, right? For 4 minutes, you should be writing. I think it should be just over a page. That does 4 minutes, and that's how long the podcast should be. I'm saying to you, should you just be using quote unquote a narrative? In other words, just you speaking. That'll be 4 minutes. As I said to you, please record longer so that you can cut it down to the correct length with only the stuff that actually is worthy of it, right? Okay, and then you can also make your mistakes and just continue recording, but re-record those mistakes while in the same recording, edit down once. Okay, ladies, any other ideas from your side for the first one? Anything springing off? So I'm gonna ask, let's say, Dina. So tell me, anything here. Let's say I'm going to mention some highlights here. Okay, this Snapchat dysmorphia. So in other words, like you are viewing yourself like with eye to eye. I'm saying with yourself. Dysmorphia is when you're literally looking at yourself. So as I've said, like Yeah, like in other words, like anorexia and bulimia come from body dysmorphia, right? When you are the perfect shape, right? Like there's nothing wrong with you. You got a healthy body. You got a you're fine in height. It doesn't matter, right? But the thing is that you get so obsessed, and then it's psychological. It's a psychological disease to see yourself, and you actually see a different version of yourself in the mirror. It's a mental, again, it's a mental delusion that you actually suffer. The Snapchat dysmorphia itself, obviously we have so many filters, right? But there's so many stickers and all that stuff and whatever it is. I don't use Snapchat just purely because, like, I mean, I don't want to put dog's ears on myself and have, like, it doesn't matter, but I'm sure it's used for more than that. But it is overly emphasized, in terms of making your eyes this way and your cheeks this way and whatever it is. The thing is that health, like body consciousness, is something that can come out of this. Do you understand? Right. So a 4-minute podcast on realistic, get like a check back in to the reality of body consciousness, so check out and check in, to where you actually need to have a positive, again, or where you are in danger right now, etc. Because these are very common. This is very common. Everyone can't see themselves anymore. That's why no one wants to upload a picture or a video of themselves that isn't filtered, that isn't edited, that isn't raw. Do you understand? It's got to have something, because when you look at it, and you can see this when you actually use your camera on your phone. Most people go look and say, "Ooh, that I'm already hideous, but it's fine." But they go to that extent because they know they're going to use anyway some kind of camera app, or photo app, or video app to anyway fix it up. But it's quite it's quite a thing, and also to get the perfect shot and yada yada yada. Do you understand? Can any ideas, or am I going to just move to the next? Yes.
So with the topic, I haven't read through the article, but then
It's okay.
is it okay if they're painting social media to be a bad tool? It is, but then what if I take the good approach of social media?
Okay, so
A healthier landscape.
sure.
I don't know.
I like that. So the thing is that, but I would change it to be like how to change how to, like, in other words, how to transform toxic social media into let's use something catchier but healthy, like your own healthy space. You understand, right? And explain what they would have to do. Like, this is what's doing wrong. This is how you should do it today. This is what you've been doing wrong. This is how you should be doing it today. Do you understand? And you understand. I would look up, let's say the top 5 things that are unhealthy. I'm saying unhealthy habits of social media, and I would find 5 great solutions too. But you must add a lot of your own, like, opinion around this. Like, when I say opinion, like, you've got to add meat to those 2 sides, both the before and the after, and it'll be a great podcast. That's a nice idea. Okay, good. Let's try. Yes, yeah.
I think I'm also going to do something with the approach of like Teddy's idea, trying to like make social media a more positive thing than negative. Because with me, I'm in like the community space, so we use like social media to like post the work that we do. Say we have a soup kitchen or a handout, we post our work on social media, and that's how we try and get like sponsors and everything. So could that be like a podcast idea?
So I would focus. I would be like how the podcast would be like how, and then you would explain. Let's say maybe there's a name to your, like your particular like NGO, right? Whatever it is that you're not a non-government anyway, like your NPO, whatever, or your charity work, right? And you would be like, this is how, and then you would go through, let's say, this is how social media has helped us do, and then you would say, explain the different, but then you go speak to some of the people that are part of, like, you understand, like those charity drives, like blank drives, like teaching, whatever it is in your own community, and just mash it up. It'd be great. Sound really cool.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Awesome, great. Let's look at the other one. So the other one is, yeah, it's gonna pop up in a moment. Good, some nice ideas there. Okay, right. Building a greener world takes a world of change. Okay. Is it going to answer? No. Okay. Well, actually, let me just see. Let me just see if I can turn that audio on. I think it's settings. I want to see whether or not it's device settings, I think. Audio. See mic and speakers. Did you hear that audio at all? Like I'm saying to you.
A little bit, sir.
Oh, could you hear it at least? Okay. All right. Okay. Let me just see here. Let's just see whether I can with volume wise. No. Okay. Let me see if this. I'll play a little bit more. Yeah.
Now we can't hear it, sir.
You can't hear it, eh? Where is this new feature now? Devices. I just want. So annoying. Meeting options. Maybe there's something there. One of those two. I'm not gonna waste too much time if not. We can present everyone, enable Q&A, enable actions, and I'll report it. Okay, it doesn't matter then. Let's just not waste time, really. Just go to the article. The article is obviously about conservation, right? But, you know, in terms of building, so has anyone read through this article? Of course, have you read it?
No, I didn't read it. I only like browsed through to see what they're talking about and all of that.
Right. And did you find anything of interest? With you, I must keep my answers and questions short. Yeah.
The only thing that I thought about this topic is maybe like taking it like metaphorically, like building a greener world takes a lot of change, not talk about the environment and all of that, but take it like metaphorically. I don't know if you understand.
You can make me understand. The others and the girls can also just follow you as well. So metaphorically, in terms of
Like maybe where we are as a country, how can we like actually like build ourselves, not in terms of like recycling, but in terms of like corruption, crime, drugs, and all of those social issues. How can we like build ourselves to become like a better world of change or something? I haven't really thought about it.
Yeah, that's actually quite cool. It's a bit, so the scope is really big. Again, you got to find something. Yeah, so call it like a recipe for a new South Africa. Do you understand? And
Yes.
something like that. It's got to be part and parcel into something concise, right? So you can say, I mean, like you don't have to refer. No, you don't have to refer to again, kind of the ecocentric side of this National Geographic article, right? But you can play off it. Do you understand? So, you can play off any of the ideas that come off. Let me just quickly see something that human waste strategy and educational program that promotes recycling. So from here, you don't have to mention it in the, I'm saying in the podcast, you could take that as how to fix our education, for example, right? How to, you know what I'm saying to you, where is or what is the secret sauce? I would use it as what's the secret sauce to a new South Africa? You understand?
Yes.
I would do that, because the thing is that you're going to talk too much about too little, and it won't work, right? Okay, ladies. So this is, look, I mean, this here is genuinely about what we've known already. I think I've said this before. I know that I have said this before in a previous lecture. For me, I would have taken this as this is an absolutely lost battle, because I want to spark a different type of point of view. As many people as there are, and there are many people, and there are many obviously projects, and there are many companies, and many awareness centers, whatever it is, centers, should I say, in centers around the world, right? It, like, the world is still crumbling. Like, there is, we're making a little bit more time on it, but as we move along, like, genuinely, these are the facts. So in my strong opinion, I would use in the podcast for it to land, I would be like, what's the point? You understand? Because these are bigger. As much fact and statistics we get from here of this stuff of preservation, right? There's I said to you, I don't know if you really care even about documentaries or whatever. There's this one documentary. Just want to get the name of it. It's really cool. It's called Why on Earth. It's, so, like I said, it's very relevant right now, and it shows like really graphic. I'm saying, like, when I say graphic, very, 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 like, raw imaging about how bad off, I'm saying, like, the deforestation of trees, of not only the Amazon forest, of trees in general, and plantation and plant life in general, the toxicity within our sea levels, and our waters, and whatever it is. And I would use that particular, like, let's say I would start with like a soundbite from this particular movie, and then I would go on about why it's a battle that's lost already. There've been a couple of bodily noises. What is your opinion on anything, on taking anything further? Like, any ideas? Teddy, Tina?
So I don't have anything yet.
Nothing at all. Let's say, so if I just talk to you about environmental like conservation, like, what might come to mind for you? But in your personal, let's try go personal, because personal is always easier. Like, what are any of your thoughts? You don't have to remain silent. You can just say stuff. Okay. All right. Zina, just said, apologies for the bastardization, but I'm trying. Go ahead. Any ideas on your side?
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how we can go about it. So here, so can I just make sure it wants us to, like, promote going green, and when it says, like, a world of change, it means, like, environmental change, not like change in terms of, like, the good work that people are doing, or
So that all comes as a summative, like, package, like a summation of, so they do want to, I mean, they want to be able to bring about just the consciousness of, right? Like I say, like this, like, yeah, this eco world, which is really cool. I'm just saying to you, one of those organizations, they've been doing, like, some really great work. But again, the whole thing is about, this is a united effort. Like, as many people as as possible, can give their 24 hours a day. It has to be like something that countries stand up, you understand, and unite. Not all of them, I'm just saying to you, but even if we had 5 countries that united against, but properly now, and committed to like environmental conservation / or salvation, right? The difference that would make, it would make a statement, you understand? Whereas countries, I mean, on their own make their best efforts in certain places, especially in Europe, massively so, right? They have, I mean, great infrastructures for that, for the environmental consciousness. But again, like so yeah, you can go that route, or again, you can go like Nkosi's route is a little bit more left of center. What interests you about, like, you could go poetic. You could write a poem about, I don't know, like were there great moments for you as a kid, like, or moments that relate to you and how important nature and, you understand, that the world around you is there anything like that? You understand? There's the notion of actually taking a deep breath in and out, and seeing how very little you do it. But when you're out on holiday, for example, you go to maybe, I don't know, like a nature reserve, or you go to whatever, somehow that deep breath in and out comes quite naturally, you understand? One could talk about, like, let's say they do a run every morning, and the run is done specifically somewhere, do you understand, that brings them peace and serenity, right? And the moment they step out, there's chaos. But it's not just about the way that the world is built, but it's about the disrespect of the world around us, and conserving what the very little that we have at this very moment. I can carry on, but let me not, because
So can I ask?
yes.
So I have an idea, but then it's all over the place in my brain.
It
I
doesn't matter.
can't
I'm
out.
glad.
Can you add vegans in the conversation?
Sure. You want to add, do you want to focus on the vegan lifestyle?
Yes, sir.
That's fine. That's good. What is the philosophy of a vegan? I mean, I know it, but I mean, I don't understand it. Do you understand? In other words, like, I haven't read further or decided it's interesting enough for me to further. So I know that they do not eat, drink, whatever it is, anything that is a byproduct, or anything from anything that's been alive, just in general. So, for example, no cheese, no milk, like everything has to be organic, soya, this, that, whatever. But that's what I'm saying. That's the difference between a vegetarian and a vegan, right? Um, so, what would you, yeah, tell me?
I don't know. I'll just research. I'll do further research.
Okay. The thing is that here's the headline for that. You would fix it. Does going vegan mean saving not the world, but you understand, like, is it environmentally friendly? And go and, let's say, and explore those facts and not. Do you understand? Just to answer the question, or is the lifestyle actually having an adverse, like a good side effect on, you understand, like nature and whatever it may have been? I don't know. I don't think it does. But maybe it does. Who knows? I don't know. You know?
Okay.
Sir?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, are you done with Teddy? Sorry, I have a question.
Yes, you can go ahead.
So, sir, with the going green and whatnot, there's somebody I know that has like a different perspective with regards to like going green. So with vegans and all,
Yeah.
vegans say they don't eat animals because they don't like the killing of animals and whatnot. So
Right.
they eat vegetables. But what they don't take into consideration is the fact that with those vegetables, animals eat those vegetables, and there's like animals that are killed, I think, sometimes for those vegetables to be protected or something. That's a view from somebody I know. Can I like incorporate it in my podcast?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can.
Yeah. That bit, but again, center it around that. Don't go too broad. You understand? So
Okay.
maybe introduce what the world, let's say the I say the commercial world. In other words, the everyday person might interpret veganism as, right? But here are some of the, obviously, the dark side of the effects of veganism, right? And then you would go, let's say, like things like that. The only thing is about the ending. You just think about the ending. So don't finish the podcast and as in like thanks for listening and whatever it is. Kind of do it on a statement and then end it there, type thing, like a thoughtful statement that wraps up what you've been saying. Make the statement and end it there to make it quite clear and like I say, have more effect.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. If there aren't any other questions, I'm going to leave it at that. Are there any other questions, ladies?
So, do you know any apps that we can use to edit audio?
So here I'm going to just quickly show you. So I've spoken about this, you know about it, but it's so easy to use. You can just go to Audacity, right? You can download it for free, right?
Oh.
Do you know about it? You know about it?
Yes, sir. I know how it looks like, but then I forgot the name.
Okay. Right, so you can just download it. Yeah, you're more than welcome to see it, because this does what the other ones do on a simpler, much simplified level without so many effects and all that type of stuff. But it's more than enough, do you understand, for you to actually get your stuff done nicely and well edited. Okay. Remember, like I say, do one recording. If it's like I say, narrative, you're not going to use any sound bites, whatever it is. If you are going to use sound bites, do not make them longer than, like I say, 8 seconds, because you have 4 minutes. So if you want to maybe use 2, that's fine. I'm saying in different areas of the podcast itself, you're more than welcome. But again, only if it helps the story, if it's valuable to the story, that's all. Okay, like that you're telling. Okay. All right. Well then, ladies, I'm gonna leave it at that, and then I will see you on Thursday. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm saying you could be busy with other things, but okay, you may ask. Like I say, you're allowed to ask questions. Like I said, just up to Thursday. All right. Otherwise, then I'm going to be unavailable after that. Okay. All right. Have a good day, and yeah, we'll chat then. Be safe.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Bye, girls. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay.